on this computer. Right. So let me share the screen. Right. Okay. Any questions, guys, before starting the session? Any questions, doubts, anything to discuss? So I have already uploaded the morning session, guys. I hope can you see that session? Let me go to this YouTube channel. Okay, fine. So go to this YouTube channel, SOS University. Okay, you can see here batch 53, but you can still go to this channel, SOS University, and you can just open this, right? And you can go to playlists. Okay, so batch 53 playlist is already created. You can see that this is the one. Okay, so the morning session is uploaded here, guys. Okay, complete MS SQL DBA training overview class 1. You can see here. Okay, so this is the first class. So again, this class also I'm going to upload in the same playlist. Next class also I'm going to upload in the same playlist. You can watch it for the reference. Okay. So before jumping into the session, anything to discuss, guys? Are we good, or any other questions you have? In the morning we discuss a lot of things, right? So any questions?
No, Sharma.
No. Okay. So someone again joined with a Realme X2. Who is that? Okay, I guess he can't hear. Realme and Swati. People are still facing trouble connecting. Swati again. 1 minute, guys. Please don't mind. Please just a minute. Swati, can you hear me?
Yes, Sharmaga, we can hear.
Oh, done. Right. Please be muted. Please be muted. Right, chalo. So this is the first class, guys. You can watch it. In case if anyone is missing the first class, you can watch this first class. Okay, so we'll start the discussion. So in the morning we discussed about the course overview. What is SQL Server? Where we are going to use the SQL Server? How it will help? Like and we have also discussed about that overview, like how to practice, how to set up the things, how you'll get the softwares, right? So about the recordings, everything we discussed in the previous class, right? So now we'll slowly jump into the session. We'll slowly jump into the session, guys. So we'll start with the SQL Server. So in the morning we discussed, right, just a basic definition. What is SQL Server? Can anyone tell me now? What is SQL Server?
SQL Server is a software,
Right.
and it stored the database and retrieve the database
Right.
and processing the database.
Right. So SQL Server is a database software which will be used to store the data, to process the data, to process the data, and to retrieve the data. To retrieve the data. So SQL Server is a database software. We'll use the software to store the data, to process the data, and to retrieve the data. So before SQL Server, where we use it to store the data then? So SQL Server maybe in 1980s, I guess, Sybase, last time we discussed it, right? Initially, Sybase developed this logic, then Microsoft, okay, took care of, I mean to say, Microsoft completely just took the Sybase logic, okay, and then Microsoft designed its own database technology. Till then, Microsoft is in the operating system field only. Then it just entered into the database software by just take over the Sybase logic and all. So before 1980s, where we used to store the data then? Now we are using databases and all, right? So before database, where we used to store the data? Just a simple conversation. Tell me, guys.
Excel, MS Word, hard disk.
Right?
In the diskette.
Okay. So we used to use maybe some spreadsheets kind of thing. Earlier, we used
Yeah, Excel. Yeah.
spreadsheets kind of thing. And before that spreadsheet, what kind of software or what kind of media we used to use to store the data? Any idea? Before the
Disk,
computer?
like
Any idea? Before that, before spreadsheets, where we use it? Before computers, where we used to store the data then?
They used to write them in
it's
a paper and keep them somewhere.
Correct,
Like
correct. So if you
Fine.
just, yeah, if you just see the history, so before computers we used to store on papers, before papers we used to write on leaves, before leaves we used to write on stones and all, right? So we used to use these many media. These are all called media, guys. We used to use these many medias to store the data. Later, like again, when computers came into the picture, so we used to store in the flat files, we used to store in the spreadsheets, then we used to store in the Excel sheets. Excel is also an excellent database. Do you know, guys? Excel is also a database software. Do you know that? We can use Excel to store the data. We can use Excel to process the data. We can use Excel to retrieve the data, right? So Excel is also an excellent database software. Then Shanmukh, why we are not using Excel? We can go for Excel, right? Why we have to create the databases and all? Why? Earlier,
because we manually enter, right?
correct. That is
It's
one
take
thing.
a lot
And
of time.
second thing is, earlier we used to use, whether you remember it or not, 128 KB phones. Remember, guys? Then 256 MB phones came into the picture. Then 512 MB, then 1 GB phones, then 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 32 GB, 16, 32, 64. Now 128 GB is the average size of the phone, right, guys? Why like that? Earlier, we used to manage the whole things with 128 KB. Now even 128 GB is also not sufficient for us. Why? Any idea?
Data bulky.
Lot of data we are generating daily, lot of data we are generating. So Excel can't manage that much of data. We can still use Excel, but terabytes of data we cannot manage with Excel effectively, right? So then database came into the picture. So SQL Server is an RDBMS software. SQL Server is an RDBMS software. What is this RDBMS? What is this RDBMS, guys?
Relational database management.
Relational database management.
What it means? Right. RDBMS is nothing but relational database management system. What it means?
It stores the data as
Right.
like
Very good, Arshad. So the media and the mode, don't confuse media and the mode. Media means in which media you're storing, Excel sheets, flat files, databases. These are all comes under media. Mode means which format you're storing the data. In which format you're storing the data, that comes under mode. In which mode you're storing the data. So to manage the things, why? Because we are going to handle terabytes of data. We are going to handle terabytes of data. So if you are not organizing the things properly, you know, right, it will take time to search the things. For example, some people will have a habit of keeping everything organized so that they can easily access the objects. Some people, when they enter into the flat, they will throw the keys somewhere, they will throw the tie, they will throw the shoes somewhere. So later again, while going to the office, what you have to do? What you have to do?
Searching.
To search itself, it will take a lot
Organizing.
of time. Means what it means, if you don't organize the data properly, it will take time to retrieve the data. Right? A lot of softwares are there. We have Excel sheet and all, but still, why we are preferring the database as of now? Why we are still preferring the database? Because we can organize the things properly in the database software using this system called database management system. Database management system. So in this system, we use it to store the data in the form of
Tables.
tables. Very good. We use it to store the data in the form of tables. Table is an excellent way of storing the data. Before tables, we use like a bus hierarchy and tree structures. So different methodologies we have to store the data. But to retrieve the data quickly, to manage the data quickly, to process the data quickly, tabular format is the best format till now we have. Earlier, before tabular format, we used to store the data in tree structure, bus structure, different structures we used. Guys, all these things they don't ask in the interviews, but this is only for our reference, for our idea. Okay, so don't worry. They don't ask what is DBMS and what is RDBMS. You are going to try as a experienced DBS with 4 years or 5 years of experience. So they don't ask all these things. But you know the history, right? How the database, okay, the database is came into the market and all. You know, right? You should know, right? So that's why we are discussing all these things. So the tabular structure is an excellent structure or format to store the data, to organize the data properly. So in SQL Server, we use it to store the data in the form of tables. Okay, what is DBMS, guys? Database Management System. That means how we are going to manage the database. So using tabular formats, we use it to store the data properly, guys. Chalo, then why we have relational then? Okay, so this one is like database management system, right? In the database management system, we can store the data properly in the tabular format. Guys, any SQL database softwares, okay? So the data will be stored in the tabular format. That is one thing that you have to remember. So in the SQL Server, everything, either user data or system data, will be stored internally in the form of table. So what is meant by table then? What is a table? Is it a 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4? Is it that table?
No, like it
No,
stores the
right.
metadata.
It's a format. Correct. So now tell me, for example, I want to create a student table. Tell me what and all columns we can include in student table. Please contribute, guys. Everyone, please add one column here. Tell me what and all columns we
Yes.
can add for a student.
Student name,
ID.
Okay, ID. Let's
Name.
start.
Student ID, student
Name.
phone number,
Okay, name, phone number. Next,
Age.
address,
address. Next,
Blood group.
blood group. Okay, very good.
Date of
Next,
birth.
sorry,
Date of
data,
birth.
Sex, male or female?
section. Okay, next. Something data, something someone said. What is that?
date of birth,
Date of birth. Okay, sorry. Date of birth. Okay, very good. Next.
male or female,
Okay, gender. Course. Next.
college,
Percentages of marks.
Marks. Very good. Next.
college name,
What is that? Okay, father name, mother name, maiden name.
College.
Okay.
Maybe okay, gender is sex. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Next.
P,
Address.
Address added. Next, why you are forgetting the important column? Are you ignoring wantedly?
P,
Hmm?
P,
What is that? Fee,
Mobile
yeah.
number.
Why you are ignoring? Fee is very important column, right?
Yes.
Next. So if you are like, we can keep on adding the columns like this, the table will go like anything, right? So we can add column, we can track the information, whatever we want in the particular table. This is all like table, right? This is our table structure. We can keep on adding the columns as per our requirements. In marks, again, we can still add like subject-wise marks and a lot of other things also, extracurricular activities. Everything we can add. If you keep on adding the table columns, what is the problem, guys? The table size will be big, right? So if the table size is big, what is the problem? The table size is big, what will be the problem? When you're trying to retrieve the data from this table, the whole table is going to be loaded into the memory. So if the table is big, it will take time to load the table into the memory. So it might create some performance issues. So whatever table structure is there, it's fine. But if it is having too many columns, first thing is security wise. Can we hide fee column here? Is it possible generally? If you are not going to create a separate table for fee, again, we have to take extra security actions to hide the columns and all, right? So security is one big issue if the table size is increasing. And the second thing is performance wise, it will create some problems. So that's why what EF card, who is EF card, guys? Can anyone tell me? EF card. Can anyone tell me who is EF card? Father of RDBMS. Okay. So what EF card proposed? So whatever things you are doing, this is before RDBMS, guys. So before RDBMS, we have database management system, DBMS system, database management system. There we use it to store the data in the form of tables. Right, like how we have arrived till now, like earlier we used to have some landlines. Before landlines, we used to have pagers, landlines, then mobile phones. Like now we are using smartphones. Like, so this is how it was. Smartphone, that it doesn't come directly into the market, right? This is how it was changed. Right, in the same way, initially they used DBMS system to store the data. Later, slowly they developed that system. Then the father of RDBMS, EF card, Professor EF card, proposed, okay, whatever data you are storing in the tabular format, that is good. But let's add RDBMS to this DBMS. Let's add R. What is that R? That R is called relational. So what he suggested, create small tables. Okay, create small tables so that you can manage the security. You can, performance wise also, small tables will improve the performance of the system. So in this way, create small tables and create a relationship between the tables using one common column. So that's what he proposed. So he is going to create tables by using relations, that is called relational database management system. So if you see here, so in every, whether you remember this or not, once you completed your exams, so the papers will go to examination center, right? So before going to the exams, what you will get it generally? What you will get, guys? What is the minimum requirement to enter into the exam hall or to write the exams? What is that?
Hall ticket.
Hall
Hall
ticket.
ticket.
Hall
Hall
ticket.
ticket.
What you will have in the on the
ID
hall
card.
ticket? Yeah, ID card and hall ticket. What you will have on the hall ticket?
All ticket number.
Hall ticket
My
number
name.
and name. Right. So why they are allocating one number to you?
Because it is a unique number, right? We
Correct. It
can't.
is a unique number. So the evaluators, those who are, please be muted. The evaluators, those who are evaluating your papers, they can't see your name. They don't know that you are the person, right? So you can simply mention your hall ticket number on the exam booklet. So using that hall ticket number only, they are going to pull all your data, right? right? So all ticket number is the common number which is creating a relation for all the subjects. On all the booklets, you are going to mention your hall ticket number. You don't mention your name. You'll simply mention your hall ticket number. So hall ticket number is having a code. It will contain your state code, district code, school code, or college code, finally your number. That's how hall ticket will be generated, right? So using that hall ticket means we are masking the data. We are applying some extra security layers using that hall ticket number. In the same way, instead of creating one big table, create small tables and create a relationship between the tables so that smaller tables can load into the memory easily, and we can create extra security also for the data. So fee column, not everyone can see, right? It was separated. Now this is a separate table. This is one table now. With a SID, I created one table. This is one table, and this is one more table. With the same SID, I created one more table, and this is another table. So whoever required, like the administrative staff and all, they can see the fee column, not everyone. Right? So whatever DBMS is there in the DBMS, the data will be stored in the tabular format, but the challenge is the table size will be big. So if the table size is big, it's difficult to maintain the security for the table, and it's difficult to, I mean to say, the performance wise also it's not good, it's not recommended. So Professor E.F. Card suggested instead of DBMS, let's go with RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, so that it will help us to create the tables in smaller parts, and you can create a relationship using one common column. So this is what your like hall ticket number kind of thing. Imagine for social, for science, for maths, for languages, like you will have by using your hall ticket number, we can generate all the marks, right? Why? Because they are having a relation. So in the same way, using a common column on all the tables, okay, on all the related tables, we can easily maintain the safety, security, and we can even create small tables. So these smaller tables can load into the memory easily while retrieving the data and all. That's how RDBMS came into the picture, guys. Now, is it clear? SQL Server is an RDBMS software. SQL Server, again I'm saying, guys, tomorrow I'll ask you in the class. SQL Server is an RDBMS software. What is RDBMS? Relational Database Management System. What it is? It is a tabular format, okay? So which will help to create to store the data in the form of tables, and it will help to build the relationship between the tables. So SQL Server is an RDBMS software which will use it to store the data, to process the data, to retrieve the data, Okay, so is it clear, guys? SQL Server definition, right? RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. RDBMS is the basis for SQL and for all modern database systems like MS SQL, DB2, Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft Access. Guys, all softwares, like all the database softwares, will use the same RDBMS mechanism only. Not only SQL Server, most of the database softwares will use same RDBMS mechanism only. RDBMS means it's a way of organizing the data. RDBMS is nothing but it's a way of organizing the data, like in which format you are going to store the data. So your RDBMS will help to store the data in the form of tables, which will have a relationship between the tables. A relational database management system is a database management system that is based on the relational model, is as introduced by Professor E.F. Card. Introduced by Professor E.F. Card, guys. Professor E.F. Card. So I told you, right? So we are going to store the data in the form of tables. So what is the table? What is the definition of the table? Tell me, guys. Tell me your own definition.
Combination of row and column.
Table is a collection of
Row and columns.
rows and columns, right? This is one definition. Very good. Correct. This is one
Table
definition.
is
Table
a
is a collection
stores
of-
the data.
Correct. Table is a format which will help us to store the data. This is another definition. Next.
And also table stores the metadata.
Table can store in the form of rows and columns.
Table
Data.
can store the data in the form of rows and tables. So table is nothing but please be muted, Srikanth.
Yes.
So table is a collection of related data entries. Table is a collection of related data entries. Okay, related data entries. Of course, table is a collection of rows and columns also. Right? Table is a collection of rows and columns also. So we are discussing data. What is this data first of all? Tell me guys, what is meant by data? What is data?
It is a collection of raw information.
Very good.
Information.
Information. So is information and data both are same?
Unprocessed information.
Very good.
Data.
Data is nothing but raw facts and figures, guys. Data is nothing but raw facts and figures. Information, processed data is called information. So there is a difference between data and information. Data is nothing but raw facts and figures is called data. So if you process the data, information will be generated. If you see here, can you understand anything here, guys? Can you understand anything? 10,000 Mahesh IT care from ABC Apartments. Can you understand? You can, if you see individually, you can
Yes.
understand like this is 10,000, this is name. So
Just
can
that
you
is
understand?
metadata.
Department.
Department, okay, very good. Someone said department. Right? Can you understand all the columns? You can see lot of data, right? You can see 10,000. What is this 10,000? Is it ID?
Salary.
Yes.
Salary.
That's ID.
It's
Okay.
ID. It's ID. Okay. Then this is name. Okay. This is department and this is address. Okay. Someone said address. So
Address.
right. So if you just look at this picture, you cannot immediately identify which one is ID, which one is address and all, which one is department and all. But if you, this is a raw data. If you see here, this is a raw data. But if you process this raw data, means what is meant by processing? Adding attributes to the existing data. What is processing, guys? Adding attributes. Attributes means meaning. That's it. You're adding a meaning. Adding attributes to the data will be converted into the information. I just added some attributes. See here, employee ID, I just added one attribute. Employee name, one more attribute. Department, one more attribute. Address, salary. So when I add some attributes to the existing data, that will be converted into information. This is called processing. So when you process the data, it will be converted into information. So SQL Server is such kind of software to store the data, to process the data. Process means it is going to add some meaning to the existing data. Then it will be converted into a usable, useful information. Clear, guys? Is it clear? Everyone, data and information.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So this is how information will be there. And if you see here, okay, if you understand anything from here, let me do one thing. Windows snipping tool, So if you see here, right now, 1 minute. Let me. So can you understand anything, guys, by using these values? What it means? What is this value? 51, 77, 58, 82, 64, 70. What is this? Is it a data or information?
Data. Data.
It's a data. I told you, right? Data is nothing but raw facts and figures. So it's a data 51, 77. You don't understand anything. Can you guess what is this? I'm not sure whether anyone saw the screen, but can you guess?
IP number? IP number?
What is that?
It's a
I think-
marks. Marks.
Someone's right. You can see here. See, it's a raw data. Okay, so it's a raw data. So you can just see only these numbers. Please be muted once. Please be muted. Thank you. So if you just look at these numbers, you can just see these are some facts and figures. You don't understand anything if you don't see the screen. But when you added a context to this data, what is the context? These are the test scores achieved by the students. Now you get to know these are the marks, right? Now you get to know these are the marks. So when you think these are the marks, immediately what you're going to think, guys? So when you understand that these are the marks, immediately what you'll think? So who got least marks? Who got highest marks? What is the average mark? How many students below average? How many students above average, right? So that is called processing. Right? So adding context to the data will be converted into an information. So if you add a context, okay, these are the test scores achieved by the students. So that context you are adding, that meaning you are adding to the data, so that data is converting into the information. This is how we are going to, I mean to say, the SQL Server is going to manage the things by processing the data and all. So now let's discuss about the tables. So what is a table, guys? Table is nothing but, okay, in RDBMS, the data will be stored in the form of database objects which are called as tables. Yes, Joel, any questions?
No.
Right. Right. So what is a table? The data in an RDBMS software, okay, will be stored in the database objects. Guys, in SQL Server, we'll call everything as an object. Okay. In SQL Server, we'll call everything as an object, guys. Object. We'll call database as an object. We'll call table as an object. We'll call login as an object. Everything we'll call it as an object, guys. Okay. So in database software, data will be stored in the form of database objects, which are called as tables. This table is basically a collection of related data entries. Table basically is a collection of related data entries, right? We just discussed, right? And it consists of numerous columns and rows. So what is a column? What is a row? Someone said table is nothing but collection of rows and columns, right? What is column? What is a row?
Column is a field, row is an attribute.
Right. So the horizontal entity is called a row. The horizontal entity is called a row. The vertical entity is called a column. The vertical entity is called a column. So if you see here, how many columns, guys, in this table? Can anyone tell me?
5.
1, 2, 3, 5.
1 minute, just 1 minute, please. Don't mind. Hello? Hello? Yes? Right. Sorry for that, guys. Okay. So what is the table, guys? Table is nothing but collection of related data entries is one definition. And table is nothing but collection of related data entries is one definition, and it consists rows and columns, guys. Table is also nothing but collection of rows and columns. Table is also nothing but collection of rows and columns. So what is a row? What is a column? What is a row and what is a column, guys? Guys, I hope you can hear me. Right? So row is nothing
Row
but
is a
correct.
Horizontal.
field.
A horizontal entity is called a row, and
Vertical is called as
a
column.
vertical entity is called a column. So how many columns you can see?
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 columns. How many rows you can see?
7.
Right.
Seven.
You
Seven
can
rows.
see
8.
7 rows. 7 or 8?
8.
7.
Someone is calculating this also. No. Okay, we'll start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 rows we have. So a horizontal entity is called row or entity is called row or record. A horizontal entity is called
RDBMS.
row or record, guys. This is one record. Okay, this is one record. We can call this as a record. A horizontal entity is called a row or a record. This is second record. This is third record. This is fourth. And this is fifth record, this is sixth record, and this is seventh record. So a row is also called as record, guys. So in the same way, the vertical entity is called column
And field.
very good. Who said that?
Prashant.
Very good. So a vertical entity is called column or field. Okay, column or field. So how many fields are there in this table?
5.
How many fields are there? 5 fields. 5 fields are there, guys. Okay. So table is nothing but relation, collection of related data entries, and it's a collection of rows and columns. A row is nothing but a horizontal entity. There is another name for row that is called record, and the column is called a vertical entity. A vertical entity is called as a column, and a column or field. Okay, there is another name for this, that is field. So table is nothing but collection of related data entries. You can see here, what is a field? Every field is broken up into smaller entities called fields. The field is the customer's table. The field in the customer's table consists of ID, name, age, address, and salary. If you see here, ID, name, age, address, and salary. This is a field, right? Record or row. A record is also called as a row of data, is each individual entry that exists in a table. So if you see here, we have 7 records in this table, guys. How many records we have? 7 records in this table. Okay, clear, guys? What is the table? What is the row? What is the record? What is the column? Everything, is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Any questions, any doubts?
So if table is the most common form of data storage in RDBMS, what other form of data can we store in RDBMS?
Only tabular formats. There is no other formats, Benay.
Okay.
RDBMS is nothing but tabular format.
When you explain about the table, it says that it is the most common and simplest form of data storage in RDBMS.
Correct.
So there is no other way to store data in
There is
RDBMS.
no
That's
other
it.
way, only tabular
Okay.
format we have.
Thank you.
Can
Yes.
we read the data in table directly?
Of course,
Hello.
yes, we can read. Yes, we can read the data directly from the table. I'll show you how to read it. Means you want to read the whole data, right? Whatever data is there in the table, you want to read it, right? That's what your question. Correct? Someone asked this question, right? Who is that? So if you want to read the data in the table, you can read it. Directly, you can read it. Okay. So there is a command, select star from query. So using this query, you can read the table. Okay. You can see all the records in the table. Okay. Chalo. So this is what we discussed till now, like about the tables, records, and evaluation of SQL Server into the market. Please be muted. Let me Srikanth. Getting some disturbance. Right. So now let's slowly start with the versions, SQL Server versions, guys. Okay, let's slowly start with the SQL Server versions. Okay, so what is a version? What is a version, guys? What is a version?
Series?
Launching of SQL servers on time.
On time. Okay.
Like iPhone series.
Okay. Right. Okay. So version is nothing but very simple definition. An updated software copy is called a version. An updated software copy of a SQL Server is called a version. Right. So we are using different versions, right? So for example, if you take any example, earlier we used to use feature phones, then smartphones and all, even smartphones. Generally, most of us, we are using Android phones, right? So whether you remember it or not, Android also will have one version, right? Like how iPhone will have iPhone 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, SE, iPhone 11, iPhone 12, 13, 14, 15. If I ask when iPhone 15 released, what you will tell?
23.
Maybe in the year of 2023, right? So
Yes, yes.
using that number, 15 number, you should be able to identify when that software was released, right? So what is that iPhone 50? It's an updated copy, right? It's an updated copy of the iPhone, right? So using 15 number, you can easily identify when this iPhone has been released into the market. So using these numbers, we can identify when it was released, in which year it was released. So that is called version. An updated software copy of SQL Server is called version. So I said like in the 1980s, actually Microsoft started journey with Sybase, right? So then it take over the Sybase logic and then it started implementing its own logic, right? So from 1990s onwards, Microsoft started implementing its own logic and it started releasing its own product into the market, guys. So it releases 1993, actually 1997, means in 1993, it released one SQL Server software copy. And then in 1997, it released one more SQL Server software copy, but both are not so effective. Then what they did after 3 years, they did lot of changes. After 3 years, they did lot of changes and they released one copy called SQL Server 2000, guys. So believe me, it just changed the Microsoft like anything. It's the most popular database technology during the time, which is having GUI feature. Microsoft is famous for GUI, guys. Earlier, we used it to use only Linux machines. Those who knows commands, they only can manage the systems, Linux servers and all, Linux machines and all. But Microsoft is the process of having personal computers in their homes. Why? Because of its unique feature called GUI, graphical user interface. Because of the GUI feature only, Microsoft captured a very majority of the market in operating system and in the database market also, right? Because of the GUI. Till then, if you want to, before Microsoft also, a lot of database softwares are there, but you have to use commands only. But from SQL Server 2000 onwards, it introduced a GUI kind of, okay, tool. It introduced GUI kind of tool. So using the tool, we can manage the databases easily without knowing commands also. So Microsoft SQL Server is famous like anything into the database market. From then onwards, okay, so Microsoft won't look back in the database market. Again, after 5 years, it released one more updated copy called SQL Server 2005. Tomorrow morning, there is a quiz on this. There is a poll on this. I'll ask you guys. If you want to take a snap of it, you can take a snap of it. Okay, so you can take a snap of it. So tomorrow morning once the class is started, I'll create one poll. You have to answer these things, right? So after 5 years, they released one more software copy. I mean to say the updated now. See, now iPhone 15 released, right? So you can see different features. Maybe next year they might release iPhone 16, more features, advanced features, updated features, updated security, right? Everything you can see when the phone, everything will be changed. Like now you can see the phone, how it was changed from iPhone 12, right? In the same way, iPhone 16, maybe you can see some other design. So software wise, it is improving. Again, design wise also it is improving, right? In the same way, after 5 years, they released one more SQL Server updated copy that is called SQL Server 2.5. The number reflects the year when it was released. Okay, guys? I'll tell you about these numbers, don't worry. So after 5 years, they released second copy, SQL Server 2.5. Then after 3 years, again they released one more updated copy that is SQL Server 2008. Then in the same year, they released one more copy called 2008 R2, which is release 2. R2 is nothing but release 2. Then after 4 years, again 2012 and 2014, 2016, 2017, they released, and 2019. And the latest version is 2022, guys. What is the latest SQL Server version? What is the latest SQL Server version? SQL Server 2022. When it was released, guys? When it was released?
June of 2022.
Right. Okay, so it was released in the year of 2022, guys. So these are all the versions of the SQL Server. You should remember all these versions. As an experienced DBA, in the interviews, they will ask this as a first question. On which versions you work till now? On which version you work till now? Like in your 5 years experience, 6 years experience, on which version you work till now? So you should know the versions, right? So don't tell 1997. Okay, now no one is using, but you can tell people still using in the companies. People are still using 2008, 2008 R2, 2012, 2014, 16, 17, 19, 22. Okay. So if anyone is asking why you are still using 2008, why you are not updating to 2017 or 19, why you are still using 2008 version, you can tell like we are using some internal applications, so that is not going to generate any revenue. So we are just managing the applications with the lower versions so that no need to pay extra money to upgrade the SQL servers. So companies, my company, we are still using SQL Server 2005. From 2005 onwards, we are having up to 2022. Why Shanmukh like that? Why? Because see, iPhone You are using an iPhone. So suddenly iPhone released one more version into the market. So immediately, are you going to upgrade to a new iPhone? Immediately, the next day. Those who are iPhone lovers, okay, maybe they might be interested in getting the iPhone, the new version of iPhone immediately, but not everyone, right? I'm okay with the iPhone 12. It's working perfectly fine. I'm okay with iPhone 13. I'm okay. I'm still okay with iPhone 10. I'm still okay with iPhone Standard Edition. Why again I have to pay extra money? Right? When you want to upgrade, you have to pay extra money, right? If you want to purchase iPhone 15 in Indian currency, it will be like 1,50,000, right? It will be 1,50,000, $1,000 to $1,500 it will be. So it's your wish. If you want, you can still use old device. If you have money, you want to see the new features, solo go for new version. So don't think when SQL Server is releasing any new software, companies are immediately they are going to upgrade to new software. No, upgrading to new software is a very lengthy process. You have to take lot of approvals for that. Not sure how 2022 is going to work, right? So iPhone 16, you like iPhone 16, but you don't know what is the defect of iPhone 16, right? Imagine if there is a software problem in iPhone 16. Are you able to use it properly? Right? So that's why we are still using different versions of the SQL servers, depends upon the application requirements. Some applications will work with 2005 only, they are compatible. Some applications will work with 2008. Some applications will work with 2012, 14, 16. Okay, so without checking that compatibility, I cannot go and upgrade my SQL Server to 2017, 19, 2022, right? I'm just giving an example. Okay, just giving an example by selecting a random versions. So it's how it will be like, guys. Even though we have different versions, still companies will use 2005, 8, 8R2, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22. So Shanmukh, what is the big difference between all these? No, there is no big difference. If you are good in one version, almost all are same. Maybe one or two extra features will be added. If you are able to access an iPhone 12, you can easily handle iPhone 16, iPhone 15, right? Maybe one or two layouts or fonts, whatever it is, will be changed, but not the complete look, right? In the same way, we are not going to again discuss 2005, 8, 8R to 12 and all. We'll discuss the latest versions, 2019 and 2022. So even though there are old versions in your office, in the organization, still with this knowledge, you can easily work with the older versions, guys. There is no big difference at all. Same. The look, the feel might be different, that's it. But features and all, everything is same. In 2000, how you will take the backup in 2022 also in the same way you will take the backup. In 2005, how you will restore the database in 2022 also in the same way you will restore the database. In 2008, how you will give the permissions in 22 also you will give the permissions in the same way. There is no single change at all. Clear, guys? SQL Server versions. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Guys, please be interactive.
Yes, Shanmukh.
Okay. Any questions till now?
Shanmukh, what is 2008 R2?
Released to, they again released one more version in the same 2008 year. So that is called 2008 R2. Say, for example, if there are any
In same year they were released.
correct, one more version. Maybe see, for example, if there are any challenges with the previous version, they will immediately release the second copy. That is the second copy for 2008, which is 2008 R2.
And that is what is 7.0, 8.0.
I'll tell you. We'll discuss everything. Every point that you can see on the screen will be discussed. That is a bill number. Okay, so I'll tell you what is bill number and all. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, please, Joel.
Can you use two different versions in one system?
Yes, we can. Very good question. Very good question. Yes, we can use. You can install two different versions in a single system. That is possible.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Like, what is the major difference between these versions, 2000, 2005?
Major differences, I'll tell you one thing, which is like noticeable difference, and major difference is always on. Remaining, there is no big differences. Always on is an excellent feature which was introduced from 2012 onwards. Before 2012, we don't have always on. All these versions, we don't have always on feature. So if you want always on, you should use either of these features. What is always on? I'll tell you. I guess in the morning we discussed. It's a data synchronization technique. So very famous technique. Nowadays, everyone is using always on only. So if you want to use that new feature, you have to be migrate to any of these versions. This is the major difference I can say. But again, tell me single difference also. No one will ask that, but still there are some enhancements, memory enhancements, query enhancements, like these things and all. They just enhance the existing features in each version. That's it. And like they are slowly integrating this to Azure, right? Not completely, but they are trying to slowly integrate Azure also. So in 2019, 2022, you can see some Azure options also. While installing, I'll show you. Any other questions? No questions, guys. Are we good? Okay, 1 minute.
Okay.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు వీటికి 2017 నుంచి ఆర్ అని ఉంది కదా, అది రిలీజా లేకపోతే ర్యాండమ్ వర్షన్ సార్? అది
ఎక్కడండి?
2017 పక్కన ఉంది కదా సార్, ఆర్ అని. ఆర్ అని ఉంది కదా సార్, రిలీజ్ అని. ఆర్ మీన్స్ ఏంటి?
ఎక్కడ 2017 ఆర్ అని?
2008 R2.
8 ఉంది. R means release 2. Only one version we have a second copy, that is 2008 R2. Where you can see 2017 R?
Okay.
Only for 2008 we have second copy, which is 2008 R2. Right. Chalo. Okay, so what we will do, guys, we'll take a break for 15 minutes, come back after 15 minutes. So we'll discuss these numbers. What is this number? What is this 70, 80, 90? And Windows Server versions also we'll discuss. Slowly we'll jump into some other important points. Okay, take a break and come back after 15 minutes, guys. So the link will be like this only. You can still be there if you don't want to take the break. So I'll be muted for 15 minutes and we'll be back after 15 minutes. I'll pause the recording. Okay. Okay. So is it clear, guys? SQL Server versions. Is it clear till here? Is it clear? Any questions? Any doubts?
No.
Fine. Right. So now you know that. I'll tell you guys what is this 7.0, 8.0, what it indicates, where to see this, everything. I'll tell you. Don't worry. Okay. So now you know that SQL Server is a software, right? Agree, guys? SQL Server is a software. Whatever it is, that is a software, right? So if I want to install a software, what I should have?
Operating system.
Very good, Sam. So if I want to install any software generally, like you are using Zoom software in your laptop, in your phone, right? You are using Zoom software. You are using some Notepad software in your laptop. You are using browser in your laptop. So these are all softwares, like when you install that software, then only you can use that software, right? Without installing, can you use Google Chrome? Without installing, can you use Zoom either in the phone or in the device? Is it possible? So in the
Yes.
phone also, without installing, is it possible?
I'll say yes, as far as you have an internet.
Which one? As far as we are?
You have an internet.
See, without installing, generally, for example, without installing Google Chrome, can I use the Google Chrome? No, right? If I want to use any software, I have to install first, either in the phone or in the device. So SQL Server is also a software. So if I want to use the software, I have to install the software on one platform, right? So on which platform we can install SQL Server? On which platform we can install SQL Server?
Windows.
Windows.
Windows,
Linux.
Right? You're correct, guys. Both on Windows and on Linux also we can use to install. So SQL Server is a software. To install the software, so we need operating system. So I'm sorry, operating system, OS. OS means what? Operating system. So what is the operating system, guys? Can anyone tell me what is the operating system?
Interface between user and computer.
Very nice, Anusha. Okay. Operating system. In the morning we discussed, right? What is application? That's an interface between user and the database, right? In the same way, what is operating system? It's an interface between the user and computer. It's an interface between the user and computer. For example, I want to create one new folder here. How I'll create? Right click, new folder. This is one option, B53. Or there is a shortcut also. Anyone knows what is the shortcut to create a new folder?
Control-Shift-N.
Very good, Prashant. Control plus Shift plus N also will give you new folder. Okay, _2, something like that. So I want to create a new folder. What I'll do in this computer, I want to create a new folder. So either right click on the new folder, I can choose new folder option. Immediately it is creating new folder. So can anyone tell me what exactly happening internally when you right click and choose new folder? What exactly is happening internally? Any idea? Any idea? Right.
Some applications are running.
Very good. Okay. So in other words, one command is going to run. We don't know what is the command to create new folder, but when I right click and when I choose folder, it will create a new folder, right? It will create a new folder. What it means? Means there is a command like mkdir, make directory. Directory is nothing but a folder, guys. Anil, you are saying, you are writing something on my screen. Okay, right. So when I click on this, there will be one command will run. When I click on this, one command will run. When I click on this, another command will run. Means here where these commands are running. Here itself, for every click, there is a different meaning, right? If you click on refresh, one command will run. But we don't know what is the command to refresh. Simply, we are just right click and refresh. When you select this refresh, it is just refreshing. But actually, that option is not refreshing. This option is creating a command. That command internally it is refreshing the system. So there is a meaning for every click. If you click here, you can see different icons. If you click here, you can see different icons. If you click here, you can see different icons. But internally, when you click on anything, it is generating a command and it is sending instructions to the operating system. That operating system is helping you to create the folder. When I want to delete, right click, how I can delete? Right click, I can delete. But when you delete it, right click, when you choose delete option, one more command is running to delete the folder. So GUI means what? It will convert user actions into command. GUI means what? It will convert human actions into commands. I don't know what is the command to delete the folder. I can simply right click on the folder. I can choose delete option. I don't know what is the command to create the new folder. I can right click on the screen, new option, can select folder option to create new folder. But initially, internally, what it is doing, guys, it is running one command to create the folders and also. What is GUI? GUI is a software which will help to convert user actions or human actions into a command. That command will run and that will run on the operating system. So if I want to talk to this machine, hey, create new folder, hey, delete the existing folder, hey, create new file, hey, save this file, add this file. So if I want to talk to this machine directly, I should have one interface, right? That interface is called an operating system. That is called an operating system, guys. So if I want to install any software in your mobile, you are installed a lot of applications, right? You installed WhatsApp, you installed YouTube, you installed some other applications. For food delivery, you installed Zomato or Swiggy. For cab, you installed Ola or Uber, right? For chatting, you installed WhatsApp, Instagram, lot of applications. For entertainment, we have Insta, we have YouTube, we have Prime, we have Netflix, lot of, depends upon your requirement, the apps are also going to change. So in the mobile also, it's running with the operating system only. Any electronic device should run with an operating system. Even calculator also will have its own operating system. Why? Because that is what there should be an interface to interact with the user, right? If I said 2 plus 2, 4, which is helping you to show 4, that calculator operating system is helping you. Any electronic device, it will run with operating system only. That's how it will interact with the users. So Windows is also an operating system. So I can install SQL Server on Windows operating system. Windows operating system till SQL Server 2016. From 2017 onwards, means 2017, 2019, 2022, we can install SQL Server on Windows and Linux operating systems also. So till 2016, it's called SQL Server is called platform dependent, means there is a dependency on the platform. What is the dependency? You have to use only Microsoft Windows to install SQL Server up to 2016 version, guys. From 2017, SQL Server is platform independent. On any platform, you can install SQL Server either on Windows machine or on Linux machines also. Nowadays, I mean to say, this was introduced in Linux also in 2017, from 2017 onwards, but still people are not at all using SQL Server on Linux machines. They are comfortable with the SQL with Windows only. So what are the challenges? Shanmukh, which one is good? If I can say, SQL with Windows is actually easy to manage, but here you have to pay license for Windows operating system and for SQL Server also you have to pay money. Guys, no software is free, nothing is free. If you go with Windows Server, SQL Server, you have to pay 2 licenses. One is for Windows Server operating system, second one is for your SQL Server. You are buying a laptop, right? When you are buying a laptop, that hardware shop or the online, internally, they are going to add the software cost also. They will add 5,000 rupees for the software, for the operating system that you are using in your laptop. The cost includes operating system cost also, guys. You are indirectly paying some amount to Microsoft. Right? In the same way, when we are using Windows with SQL combination, you have to pay license for Windows, you have to pay license for SQL. When you use Linux with SQL, Linux is completely free, guys. Linux operating system is completely free. You have to pay license for only SQL Server. But till now, it was not so famous. Linux with a SQL Server. 1 minute, just 1 minute. Right, I'm sorry, I'm talking in mute. Right, so if I want to install SQL Server, what is the main prerequisite? Tell me, guys, if I want to install SQL Server, what is the main prerequisite to install SQL Server?
Operating system.
Operating system. I should have operating system. Either Windows or Linux. Forget about Linux. No one is using Linux with SQL as of now in the market. Okay. Why? Because it was not yet so improved. Maybe in future versions it might improve. Okay. As of now, people are not habituated to use Linux with SQL. So Windows plus SQL only people are using. Okay. So if I want to install SQL Server, the minimum requirement is I should have an operating system, that too a Windows Server operating system. So in operating system, we have again 2 types of operating system in Windows, guys. Windows, 2 types of operating systems. Can anyone tell me? What are those 2 types of operating systems?
Developer or evolution?
Right, desktop operating system and server operating system. Okay, desktop operating system, server operating system. What it means? You know, right? Desktop means for personal usage. Personal usage. Okay, so can you tell me the versions of desktop operating system? You can tell. You can try some versions. Tell me, guys, some versions of desktop operating system. Okay,
Windows 7,
very good.
XP,
Mm.
Windows.
Correct. The versions of Windows, your desktop you are using, right? The one that you are using currently, that is called desktop. Desktop operating system. What are the different versions of desktop operating system? You are using laptops since years, right? So Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows Premium, Windows 7, Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10. Currently, you are using Windows 11. These are all comes under desktop operating system. You can install SQL Server either on desktop operating system or on server operating systems also. On server operating systems also. So, which one will use in the organization, Shanmukh? What is the difference between desktop and server? Which one we have to choose? Which one is good, guys, in the organizations? Desktop or servers?
Server.
Why? Any idea why?
Because it is security,
Security, very good. Next.
It will be accessed by multiple developers.
So the desktop can't be accessible by multiple users.
No.
Are you sure?
Trying to say, but not sure that was.
Okay. Next.
So you don't have to store all the files on your personal computer.
Okay, very good, Joel. Next.
Storage, sir.
Very good. What is storage then? What in
Server is
terms
of data storage.
So in the desktop we don't have storage?
In desktop, only one user, one developer can work, and whatever work one developer, multiple developers make, that can be stored in server.
We can still use our laptop for multiple users. Do you know that? People are saying something Prashant said, only one user in desktop. We can create two different users in desktop also. That is possible. In server also, maybe at a time 2 persons can access the server. But okay, that's fine. Whatever you said, valid point. Okay, next. Fine.
Multiple user can access the same server.
Access, but up to 2 connections only at a time. 2 connections it will accept, not more than that. Direct server connections.
Many high availability will not be possible on.
Very good. Yes, that is one option, Prashant. Correct. High availability is possible in the Windows Server operating systems only, not
Yes,
desktop. Right. Main reasons are the capacity. So if you go for desktop, hardly how much RAM you can see, how much storage you can see, hardly. It will start from 4 GB to hardly 16 GB. Still, if it is compatible max to max, how much you can see? Personal computers, how much RAM you can see? 32 GB max, right? Maybe hardly 1 terabyte of storage you can use. Maybe hardly, see guys, for every computer, 3 things are important. One is storage. Second one is CPU. Next, memory. These 3 are very, very important. So, why we don't choose desktops in the organization to install SQL Server means there are some limitations to the desktop operating systems in terms of CPU, memory, and storage. Max to max 32 GB you can use. Max to max 4 core CPUs you can use. Max to max 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes of storage you can use for desktop operating systems. But in the organization, believe me, 32 GB of RAM is just a peanut. Do you think Amazon.in is running on 32 GB RAM? Can run on 32 GB RAM machines? Is it possible?
No.
Do you think NASA computers are running with a 32 GB? ISRO computers are running with a 32 GB. Is it possible? Not possible, not at all possible. So 32 GB is just a peanut in the organization. Machines will run 64, 128, 256 GB RAM, not storage. RAM itself 256 GB. Some machines with 512 GB RAM also there in the organizations. 512 GB RAM, imagine. 4 GB hardly we are using in our laptop. Imagine 512 GB of RAM to process weather related information, to process, okay, lot of images and all. We need lots of RAM. So desktop can't manage RAM or storage or CPU when compared to servers. Servers, you can add lot of RAM, lot of CPUs, lot of memory, lot of storage, depends upon the requirements and all. So that is the main thing when compared to desktop. Server OS will have a separate set of limitations when compared to desktop. So that's why in the organization we don't use desktop operating systems to install SQL Server. We'll use server operating systems. Is it clear, guys? Why we will use only server operating systems to install SQL servers in the organization? Everyone, is it clear?
Yes.
Guys, please let me
Yes.
know if you have any questions, please, no problem. So we have two types of operating systems. Again, I'm repeating. We have two types of operating systems in the Windows. One is desktop operating system, which is for personal usage. Desktop itself is saying for personal usage. And second one is server operating systems, which is for organizational usage. Okay, so it will have more CPU, more RAM, more storage. Server operating systems can have more CPU, more RAM, more storage when compared to desktop operating system. So that's why we'll install SQL servers on Windows Server operating systems. Is it clear, everyone? Are we discussing too technical things, guys? People are so silent, not interested.
No, Shanmugh, it's good.
Right. Guys, let me know your suggestions. Okay. So if you are facing any troubles, just let me know. Right. So in the desktop, we have different versions, right? In the SQL Server also, we have different versions. So Windows servers also is a software, right? Software means definitely it will have different versions, right? So Windows Server also introduced in the year of 2000. Like how we have Windows 7, 7 point, I mean to say Windows 7, Windows 8, 8.1, Windows Vista, Windows Premium, Windows 10, Windows 11. In the same way, server operating systems also will have versions. These are all Windows Server versions. Again, take a snap. Tomorrow I'll ask, guys. What and all? Why? Because as a DBA, these are very important things that you have to keep in mind. These should be on tip of your tongue. You should remember all these versions. If you can't remember, by heart it. Very important. Chalo. So in the year of 2000, Windows Server 2000 released. Then after 3 years, Windows Server 2003 released. Then after 5 years, 2008, then 2008 R2, 12, 12 R2, 16, 19, 2020. The latest Windows Server version is 2022. And latest SQL Server version is also 2022. Don't confuse. This is a software. This is an operating system. Don't confuse. Without this operating system, I cannot install this SQL Server. Is it clear? Without this
Yes, sir.
platform, I cannot install this software. If you want to install WhatsApp, what you should have? If you want to install WhatsApp, what should have? What you should have?
Play Store.
Mobile is enough.
Operating
Now,
system.
Android.
you should have an
Data.
operating system.
Storage.
So, correct. What operating system you are using currently in your mobile phones?
iOS.
And
Some people are using iOS. Some people are using
Android.
Android 7, Android 8, Android 9, Android 10, Android 11 is going on. You can go and check the about phone option in your phone. You can see what Android version you are using. Even Android also will have a version. Check the iOS version also. Every software will have a version, guys. It indicates when it was released. It indicates what and all features it will support. The version indicates when it was released. The version indicates what kind of features it will support. You can go and check now. Go to settings and check the about phone. You can see what kind of Android version you are using. Android Marshmallow, Android KitKat, Android. Anyone heard about this, guys? Android KitKat, Android. You can see, guys. Okay, let's go to Google. Android versions. See here. Android Cupcake, Android Gingerbread. See. Android Donut, Android Cupcake, Android Eclairs, Android Froyo, Android Honeycomb, Android Ice Cream, Jelly Bean, Kit Kat. Android Lollipop, Android Marshmallow, Android Not, Android Oreo, Android Pie, Android 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, Android 15 released in the year of, it's going to release in the year of 2024, quarter 3, maybe this year, Q3, it is going to release. Currently, Android 4 in the market, which was released October 4th, 2023, guys. So if you go and check your phone, you can see either Android 11 or 12 or 13 or 14, whatever it is, you can see that. So in the same way, every software, every device, every operating system will have its own version, guys. So SQL Server is a software, it is having its own version. Windows Server is a software, it's also having its own version. Right? So these are all the versions you have to remember related to the Windows Server. Now I have a quick question to everyone. Yes, Doris, please.
Please, I am concerned. I don't understand this Windows Server's version 2 well. Are we talking about, when we say Windows Server, are we referring to the computer? Please, I do not understand.
Correct. We are referring to the computer, Doris.
Okay, is it now different from when, let's say, as an instructor, you tell me to buy a computer and you say, oh, buy Windows 11, buy Windows 10. Is it different from this Windows Server 2000, 2003,
See,
2008?
there is, operating system interface wise, there is no big difference, Doris. But I said, right, what is the main difference between your desktop and the server? What is the main difference? We discussed it just now. What are the main differences? Limitations. Limitations in terms of memory, limitations in terms of disk, limitations in terms of storage. But interface and all, everything is same as your desktop operating system. There is no big difference. Shanmukh, do I need to learn Windows Server now? Not required. That is same as your desktop. Interface wise, that is same as your desktop, but only difference is limitations in terms of resources. Desktop doesn't support more RAM, more storage, more CPU. The server will do that. The Windows Server will do that. So SQL Server, for example, Amazon.in or .com, Amazon.com is a very big application. So it needs 128 GB, 256 GB RAM machines. Do you know any desktops having 128 GB, 256 GB RAM, Doris? Do you see any such kind of machines till now?
I'm not too sure.
No machines, no such machines existed till now. Why? Because desktop means that is only for personal usage. For industrial usage, we'll use server operating systems. That is the only difference. That's it.
Perfect.
You got it now, Doris?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, done. So now I have a quick question, guys. So Shanmukh, these are all SQL Server softwares, right? And these are all Windows Server softwares. Means I can install all these SQL servers, can install on all these Windows servers, right? Right? Can I install all the SQL servers on all the Windows servers, guys? Windows servers operating systems. This is a SQL Server software. So this software I should be able to install on the Windows Server. So can I install all the versions of SQL servers on all the versions of Windows servers? Is it possible? Guess it, no problem. Just guess it. But I need an interaction.
No.
No.
No, it will not support.
Everyone is saying no.
No.
No one is going to say yes.
Yes,
Yes. Who is that? Yes.
Prashant.
Prashant. So we can install all SQL servers on all Windows servers.
Yes.
Okay.
No, sir.
So is it like you are very confident about the answer, or you are using inky pinky ponky answer?
No. Just I need to learn it, but I
Okay.
replied on your.
Okay, thank you. Very good.
At least we can use 2, I think.
Right, okay, chalo. Okay, so I'll give you a simple example. Okay. can I install? Sometimes you can see some news like WhatsApp 7 is not going to support on iOS 6. WhatsApp 8 is not going to support on Android 4. Have you heard this kind of news?
Yes.
Why? Why it's not going to support? I'll give you one more simple example. In our childhood, we used to wear some clothes, right? Now, also, of course, we are wearing, but in the childhood, whatever clothes we are wearing, we wear in the childhood, can we use those clothes now? Is it possible? Whatever clothes we wear in the childhood, is it possible to wear the same clothes now?
No.
No,
No.
Why?
No.
the size is small and
Correct.
measurements are
Correct. The measurements and all completely different. Right. So when scientists invented the SQL Server software 2005, did they know about in 2022 Windows Server 2022 will come? Did they know about that? Can they predict in future Windows 2022 will come? So this should support okay on Windows 2022. So they know that. Is it possible? They cannot guess it. Next year, which version is going to come, they cannot guess it. So that is called compatibility. Very simple answer. You cannot install very lower version SQL servers on very higher version Windows Server. Why? That is called compatibility. Compatibility issues will come. It is not going to allow you to install very lower versions on very higher versions. Are you getting the point, guys? How we cannot wear our childhood clothes now? In the childhood, we don't know how much height we will be in the future, right? What will be our measurements? We don't know in the childhood, right? So whatever clothes we are using, we used in the childhood that we cannot wear it now. In the same way, whatever older versions are there, we cannot use those older versions on the latest versions of operating systems. That is called
Sharma,
compatibility. Yes, please, Arshit.
my question is, if they release a SQL Server new version 2023, they release Windows Server 2023?
I'll tell you on what servers you can install SQL servers, on what versions you can install SQL servers. I'll tell you. As of now, is this
No, my question is, they will release a new version in SQL Server,
okay?
and automatically they will release Windows Server also
No.
as well?
No. They don't do that. They don't do that. So both are completely different. Okay, so it doesn't mean when they release a new version of SQL Server, they are going to release new version of Windows Server. Nothing like that. Maybe some conflicts may occur. See, SQL Server 2022 is there, Windows Server 2022 is there. That doesn't mean they both are like discussed and they released at a time. Nothing like that. When they are releasing any SQL version, they don't release Windows Server version. Okay, Harshit? Right. So now definitely we'll have a question. Okay, Shanmukh, on what and all Windows Server versions I can install my SQL Server then?
And how can we check that?
Correct. How can we check that?
Yes.
Right? That is your question, right? Shanmukh, you only said I cannot install all SQL servers on all Windows machines. Now tell me, some customer is asking, hey, Prashant, can you install 2016 on my Windows Server 2008? Is it possible? If someone is coming to you and if they're asking like this, what
No.
we should say? Yeah, what we should tell? So,
we should suggest to update that.
correct. So, that is called compatibility, right? So, listen carefully. Every SQL Server software, every version of SQL Server software supports plus -7 years to +7 years. Every SQL Server software supports -7 years to +7 years. This is just a recommended practice. Okay, you don't find this in any of the books or Microsoft resources. Okay, so you don't see that. But every SQL Server software -7 to 8 years to +7 to 8 years. So what is this -7 +7? Chalo, let's take an example. Now you want to check on what and all Windows Server versions I can install my SQL Server 2012. Okay, on what and all Windows Server versions I can install my 2012 SQL Server 2012. Now apply this formula.
From 2005 to 2019.
Correct. 2012 -7. How many years? What is the year, guys? 2012 -7.
2005.
2005. To 2012 +7. How much?
2019.
Right. Right. So in this range, tell me now what and all Windows Server operating systems are there. Check it here, no problem. You can check here. In this range, what and all Windows Server operating systems
6.
are there.
2008 to 19.
2008. 2008
19.
R2, 2012, 2012 R2, 2016, 19.
9 19. Okay. Yeah.
On all these Windows Server versions, pakka for sure you can install SQL Server 2012. Definitely you can install. If anyone is coming to you, hey, can you install 2012 on Windows Server 2003, is it possible? Is it possible, guys?
No.
No, not at all
No.
possible. Not at all possible. Why?
No.
Windows Server 2003 released in the year of 2003, and after 9 years, SQL Server 2012 came into the picture. 2003 plus 9, right? 2012. So not at all. It is not going to support to install 2012 on Windows Server 2023. 2003. Clear? Is it clear, guys? If you want me to explain again, I'm happy to explain again. No issues for me.
Sir, can you explain again?
Yeah, you can
Did not
explain
get it.
again.
Definitely. Chalo. So sometimes in the organization, some users will come to us, hey, DBA team, can you install so and so SQL Server on so and so Windows Server? Like that they will ask. So as a DBA, you cannot say yes or no. First, you have to check the versions. If someone is coming to you, can you install SQL Server 2005 on my Windows Server 2019? So someone is coming to you and they are asking like this. So what you should tell? Yes or no?
No.
So
No.
now go to SQL Server version. Copy, paste here. Now I said one formula. What is that formula?
Yes, sir. -7.
-7 to +7.
+7.
So 2005 -7, what is the value?
1998.
Very good. 2005 +7.
12.
So in this range, do we have Windows Server 2019?
No.
So can we install 2005 on
No.
Windows Server 2019? Not at all possible. Is it clear now? Now is it clear?
Yes.
Sir,
Yes,
what
yes.
is that -7 and +, and is it formula or that
It's not
it
a
is
formula,
previous?
it's years. It's years generally. -7 to +7, how many years, guys? Tell me. How many
15
years
years.
total? How many years?
15.
Tell me, guys. 15. Someone is saying 15. Any other answers we have? -7 to
0.
+7. 0.
14.
-7 to +7 year. Okay. Someone said, okay. If you go to -7 to +7,
14 years.
generally 14 or 15?
15.
Prashant is saying 14. So
0
it
is
will
also
be,
included into that. Yes.
it will be 15 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So any SQL Server software, generally it will support 15 to 16 years, max to max. Okay. 7 years lesser versions, 7 years new versions. Okay. If you go down, 7 years you have to go down, 7 years you have to go forward. Okay. So in this range, it is going to support. So Shanmukh, after 15 years, what is the state of the SQL Server? And you said you are still using SQL Server 2005 in your organization. Right? How many years now? 2024, 2005. How many years? 19 years?
Yes.
So 19 years, is it supporting Shanmukh? You said up to 15 years only, right? Is it still supporting 19 years? Since 19 years you are using the software, is it still supporting? It will support when you are using same operating system. See here, I'll tell you, I don't want to confuse you guys. Let me go to this SQL Server builds.blogspot.com. So here you can see all the versions when it was released and all. Okay. And you can see here, if you go and check here, there is a date. Okay. If you go to 2005, you can see support when it was released 7 November 2005. So support end date, how many years? Support
6
years.
6 more years.
What is this? Extended support end date 2016 means how many years?
Another 5 years.
Another 5 years it was
11.
added. So what is this support, Shanmukh? If something goes wrong, you bought one device, it is in warranty period. If something goes wrong, what you will do? You will go to this, right? You will go to
You
the
can
you are
contact.
going contact the customer care and they are going to help you out, right? Why? Because it is still in warranty period only, right? If it is not in warranty period, you can go to any electronic shop and you can give that device there, they are going to fix it, right? In the same way, we are purchasing a product from the Microsoft. So they are going to give support. If something goes wrong with the SQL Server 2005, you can raise a ticket to Microsoft support. So if something goes wrong, they are going to give support till 2011. If you pay some extra amount, they are going to give support, extended support. You know, right? Extended warranty. You have to pay some extra amount for that. So if you pay some extra amount, they will still support up to 2016. Till 2016, if you have any issues with 2005, you can raise a ticket to Microsoft. They are going to help you to fix the issue. After 2016, can we still use 2005? Tell me, guess it.
Yes.
We can use it. But if something goes wrong with this software, Microsoft is not going to support. Why? Because support date is ended, extended support date is also ended. So that is your own risk. Now, I told you, right, if the warranty is over, are you going to throw the device? No, you will use till how many days it will come, you will use that many days, right? If something goes wrong, you will go to some mechanic and all, they are going to check it, right? In the same way, this is called support and extended support, which will Microsoft will give. So if extended support is also over, still you can use that software. But
I have one question regarding this.
Yes, let me complete. But Microsoft is not going to support in technical way, and Microsoft is not going to release any kind of updates to this software. It will stop supporting. Why? Because do you know that when Apple is introducing any new phone, it will stop supporting one version of old phone. Do you know this? Do you know this, guys? When Apple is introduced Apple 15, it will stop supporting Apple 4 or Apple 5. Why? If still it is supporting, who will purchase new models? So it will stop supporting one more version, one more version, one more version. What it means? It don't release any of the updates. It don't, even though you call to customer care, it will tell you the extended support is over. We can't help you with this device. It's your own wish, your own risk. That is called support and extended support, guys. So yes, please, someone is asking the question.
Yeah, I am asking question. My doubt is that if is it mandatory that we need to upgrade our SQL Server after 11 years?
Not at all mandatory. That's why I said, are you going to throw the device once the support period is over?
But when extended end date is also ended and will not get any support from Microsoft. So
Correct. That's why I said it's your wish and your risk to continue.
but hardly any issue occurs if we are using on the same platform, no?
It might. That's why we don't use critical applications with these older versions, right?
Okay. So the any updated application or some enhancement is required. So
Correct.
we require some upgradation.
Where we don't get any revenue from the applications, you can still. Why? Because you already bought the software. After
Yes, yes.
extended support is over, no need to pay this any amount to seek Microsoft. Why? Because done. Now
Okay,
Microsoft is
when
not going to
some new
support.
task is
Correct.
when new is added on, so we can think of that.
If you want new features, upgrade. If you don't want new features, you are okay with the existing feature, proceed with the
Okay,
same
okay,
existing
okay,
versions.
okay. It's not like car that it expires after 15 years and
No,
engine.
nothing like that. No one will stop
Okay,
you in using 2005, 2000
okay,
also. You already
okay.
bought the
Thank you.
product, you spend some money, so it's your wish. It's a product like iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah, Doris.
Yes, sir. I just want to understand something.
Yes,
On the
please.
-7 + 7 rule.
Yes.
So I want to understand it better for me and maybe for others. Let's say I'm working on a 2012,
Okay.
and let's say my colleague or my boss say, "Oh, can you tell me what other version that can be supported by this 2012?"
Okay.
So what I should do is that I should take a 7 from that 12.
Correct. -7 + 7. So 2012 -7
I'll have 2005.
and 2000 plus 7, 2012 + 7.
2019.
So in this version, in this range, what and all Windows Server operating systems are there? 2005 to 2019.
2019. So I'll go from 2008 to 2019.
Correct.
Okay, so that would be my answer. I just
Correct.
wanted to understand it very well.
Correct. That's perfectly fine. You can tell this answer.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
I have small doubt, sir.
Yes, please, Venkat.
Which country from, sir, Doris?
UK. Why, Venkat, you got that doubt?
UK. Why UK people join Indian?
Why? Do you have any problem? They can't join or what?
No, sir. So many people Indian people are interested to go to UK.
See, whatever it is, see, UK people, there also people are using softwares, right? They also want to learn software. They also want to like enter into IT, right? So it's not like Indian people will learn technology and they will go to UK. So Doris, she's not going to come to India. Okay, she's
Maybe
flying
one day I
Doris.
can come visit. If we establish a better relationship, I can come.
Definitely. You are always welcome, Doris. Yes. So we have our students from US, UK, Singapore, Saudi in this batch itself.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So we have students from the whole world. I mean to say different countries. Okay. So that is your doubt, Venkat?
I thought that there is UK also. So a lot of teaching institutes are.
It's not like that. See, I told you, right? Whoever is good, you will go with them. That's it. They're very simple. It will like
Okay.
that. So it's not like in UK, no good teacher. It's like kind of like where I can get better understanding. People will try there. Right.
Okay.
Hello. Any other questions, guys, please? Deepak.
Hey, hi, Shanmukh.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
thank you. Shanmukh, actually, I joined this session in middle of the time. So, will it possible that I will get the whole recording of
You
this
will get it,
session because
definitely.
I missed the some half of the part.
Correct. You will get it, Deepak. First thing and second
And
thing
one
is
more,
second thing is like, have you contacted me earlier? Do you have my number?
yeah. Over the WhatsApp, I text you,
Okay,
and then you
done.
provide me the link, and on that link I joined.
For
And
sure.
one more thing, Shanmukh,
Yes,
like
please.
the -7 to +7, this formula is applicable only for the SQL Server level or Windows level?
Same. If you go for Windows level, you can calculate reverse also. For example, if someone is coming and hey, Deepak, can you please tell me what and all SQL servers I can install? Okay, on what and all SQL Server versions I can install on Windows Server. Okay, Windows Server 2008. What and all SQL servers I can install on Windows Server 2008.
So we say
Same formula.
2008 minus 7.
Correct. Same formula.
That give us
2008, so 2001 to
15.
2015. In this range, what and all
15.
SQL servers we have? 2001 to 15. What and all SQL servers we have?
Yes, 2005 to 2014.
Correct.
That'll be our answer.
So you can install all these SQL servers on this Windows Server 2008.
Shanmugh, what means the R2? The
R2
SQL
means very
Server
simple.
2008 R2?
See, R2 means release 2. They released one more upgraded version of 2008 in the year of same 2008.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know, right, if movie is super hit, after 10 years, 15 years, again, they'll go for second release, right? Sometimes in the same year, they'll go for second release. That's also same. R2 is a kind of release too. Maybe they might, they tried
It's like
introducing
that.
some extra feature, yes.
Sir, small doubt.
Yes.
When user want to upgrade that server, can we suggest the latest versions to him?
See, generally, who will choose Shanmugh? We have this many versions, right? Who will choose what kind of versions we need? Generally, it depends upon the application requirements. Okay. So if application is going to support only these SQL servers, application user will let us know, hey, I need SQL Server 2014 or 2012. Why? Because my application will support up to 2012. So it's not like in the market 2022 came, so directly I'll jump to 2022. You can upgrade if your application is supporting. Are you getting my point, guys? If your application is compatible, you can still upgrade. But if your application is not compatible, correct. If it is old application, is it going to support latest version of SQL Server? No, right. So it depends upon the user requirements. Users will decide. If user is not deciding, if it is a new application, always you can use latest versions. Is it clear? So who will decide the version of SQL Server? Your application user or application owner. If he said, okay, any version is fine, this is new application, we'll always prefer latest version of SQL Server, latest version of Windows Server. Okay.
Yeah.
Or else some organizations will go latest versions -1. So why? Because latest versions might have some challenges that we don't know, right? So people will go latest versions -1, which is 2019. The latest version -1 version for safer side. Chalo guys, that's it for today. And I need one more favor from all of you guys. I'm sorry for that. So this is the second demo class. As I said, 2 demo classes will be there. This is the second demo class. I'm going to post this link in our Zoom chat. You can see a pop-up. Please copy paste this link in the browser. You can see this contact form. Give your name, your email ID so that you will get the softwares. Okay.
Email ID must be Gmail only.
Gmail only.
Okay.
Address, no need of complete address. Just where are you from? Country is enough or state is enough if you are from India. Phone number, of course, it's very important for further communications. Comments, you can add.
Your voice is disturbed, Sanmukh.
Yes. 1 minute. Right, phone number, guys. Phone number, so that for further communications related to the course, and also this is mandatory, and comments. You can add your suggestions, whatever suggestions you have, you can add it. Okay, and okay, so I guess you can access, right? Can you please try to open this sheet, guys? Let me know whether you're able to access or not.
We have a link over there.
Yeah, it is open.
So you're able to access, right?
Yes.
Okay, chalo. So please, guys, this is mandatory. Okay, so as discussed, the first 2 classes are completed.
So
So
for signing in, we have to use
correct.
image.
You have to use this form. You have to fill this sheet first, and
For signing in, which email we have to use? It's
you can
asking.
use you can use any email. You can use any email.
Any Gmail, okay.
Any Gmail means your Gmail, not others' Gmail.
Oh, okay. Means,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so just to fill this form. Okay, I can see that 3 responses till now. You can see on the screen. Please fill this form, and the morning session, the first session is uploaded. Okay, in our channel under batch 53. So Deepak, you just joined, right? So go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Just type Source University, SOS University.
Okay.
And then you can see our channel like this. Okay, and then go to playlist. You can see batch 53 playlist. In that, the first class is already uploaded. This class also is going to be uploaded. Okay, so that you can watch the class recording. Okay.
Shanmugh, I would like to ask one thing. It requires our own password, original password.
Which one?
For Gmail login through this link.
See, that is, you are just entering into Gmail, so it doesn't provide any passwords to me. You are just entering, you are just signing into the Gmail, and then you are able to fill the form. That's
So
it.
we have to enter our password, no?
Your own Gmail password. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Not sure why it is asking.
What?
I'm not sure why it is asking you to sign into Gmail, but I guess you can just fill this sheet without signing into Gmail also. If it is
Okay.
asking you to sign in, you can still give your own, like your own Gmail ID and the password. That information is not going to be shared. I mean to say, I can't see that Gmail and passwords and all. Okay, only the responses I can see. Chalo, yeah. Any questions? So as discussed, the 2 free classes are over, guys, and tomorrow still I'm going to give one more extra free class tomorrow morning. You can still use the same link to join. Okay. But the mandatory thing is you have to fill this sheet now itself. So it's still
Shanmukh.
third class also you can attend. Yes, please. 1 minute. Third class also you can attend tomorrow. And for US people, it will be today evening. Third class will be there. 8:30 p.m. EST, and we have class tomorrow morning 7 a.m. IST. So you can use the same link to join, guys. But please fill this form first. Yes, Deepak, please.
May I know the fee structures? How?
I will be discussed in the WhatsApp. I guess we have already discussed. Okay, so it will be discussed in the WhatsApp.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Done.
Thank you, Shanmukh.
Chalo, guys. Yeah, thank you. So any other things, guys? So tomorrow we are going to cover, okay, this, what is that? Let's go to this. Yeah. So again, take a snap of this. Tomorrow in the morning we'll have a poll, small, just a question and answers kind of thing. And then tomorrow we have already discussed platform dependent. So we'll discuss about the CTP, RC, RTM, what is bill number. So you asked, right, what is the 7.08.0? That will be discussed tomorrow. That is called bill number. So what is bill number? What is the format of bill number? What is the use of the bill number? Where we can see the bill number, what it tells, everything will be discussed tomorrow. And then additions, and then slowly we'll start with a demo. Okay, so tomorrow, maybe in the morning, if it is possible, we'll start the demo, or in the evening, we'll start the demos. We'll create virtual machines. I'll explain what is virtual machine and all, how to create, how to install an operating system. And then we'll slowly try to install SQL Server, guys. Okay, that's what we are going to discuss tomorrow. See,
Hello,
nine,
Sanmukh.
28 participants. Yeah, we'll discuss. Up to till now, only 9 participants responded.
Sanmukh,
Yes, please.
do we have to tick mark record official body dot 16?
Not required. It's your wish, no issues. If
No,
you
it's
if
off
you tick
streak.
mark,
It's off.
if you tick mark, you will get the same responses to your Gmail. Guys, please fill it. Once you fill the sheet, then I'm going to, like, what I can say. I don't know. Okay, so not you guys. So yeah, so please complete this contact form, guys, so that I can easily communicate with you for the further communications and all. Okay. So any other things to discuss? Any other things to discuss, guys?
Thank you, Sanmukh. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Vinay.
See you tomorrow. Bye,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, Doris, bye.
It is pressure.
What happened, Venkat?
Sir, can I listen this class, sir?
You want to again watch this class?
No, sir. Fresher means recently degree passed out students.
You can as a fresher, you can go as a DBA. I mean, like, you can try as a DBA if you go to any fresher interviews, they'll ask which technology you are good at. So you can tell them that you are good in SQL DBA. Okay, so that they will ask questions from SQL Server side. So you'll be comfortable. Okay. Yeah, you can listen as a fresher also. You have to learn one technology. Okay, as a fresher. So try to learn this technology instead of learning some different technologies and all. You can tell that you are good in SQL DB, so that definitely you are going to get it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yep.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, good night, Venkat.
Good night.
Yeah. Just 2 minutes and class అయిపోతుంది నేను పింగ్ చేస్తాను 2 minutes లో క్లాస్ ఇంకా క్లాస్ లోనే ఉన్నాను నేను పింగ్ చేస్తాను yes guys till only 13 responses, that's fine.
Shanmugh garu.
Yes Midin.
Yeah, we have for this batch, we have any group is there like WhatsApp, in WhatsApp?
Generally, I don't create any WhatsApp groups which will be misused very easily later, not now. So
Okay.
once like half of the course is completed, mostly like end of the course, I'm going to create one group, not initially. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
How to fill the Google form, bro?
You have filled it, Anil?
Yeah, not
Yeah, I
filled up.
submitted. Yeah, I submitted.
Okay, Nitin, thank you. Anil, you are saying something.
How to fill the Google form?
Nothing. I guess you can see that link in the chart. Okay. You just clicked on that. I guess you joined from device or what? Mobile device? No, from laptop only. Open the
Laptop.
chart. Open the chart. Zoom chart, not WhatsApp. And you can see the link docs.google.com forms link. If you click on that, it will open in the separate browser. You have to give your name and all, email. Okay, whatever details it is asking, you have to simply give those things. Guys, please also add comments. Comments can be your suggestions also. Okay, so you can add your suggestions also, guys, so that I can improve the things and all in case the classes are going too speedy, too fast, too slow. If you tell me, then we'll work accordingly. Chalo, so if you feel that, you can leave, guys. Okay, so we'll connect tomorrow at 7 a.m. IST. चलो guys, see you tomorrow. Bye.
హలో సార్.
Yeah, Srikanth.
సార్ ఇది లింక్ ఎలా సార్ ఇది చూపించట్లేదు, ఒకసారి కట్ అయింది మళ్ళీ రీజాయిన్ అయింది.
అవునా, కనిపించట్లేదు, మళ్ళీ పేస్ట్ చేస్తాను ఆగండి లింక్. గ్రూప్ చాట్ ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తుందా చూడండి.
ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తుంది.
లింక్ మీద క్లిక్ చేయండి.
ఓకే.
Right, chalo guys. Okay. Thank you. Bye. శ్రీకాంత్
సార్
ఓకేనా మీకు? ఓకే కదా, అవుతుందా యాడ్ చేయడానికి?
ఓకే సార్, ఫిల్ చేస్తున్నాను.
నో ప్రాబ్లం, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్, చాలా బాగుంది సార్ క్లాస్.
యా, థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఓకే అమ్మా, ఓకే.